Sometimes it happens suddenly. You just look at someone, one glance, one moment, and everything inside stands still. There's no logic, no explanation. But what if it's more than just a fleeting encounter? Carl Jung said that every person we can't let go of carries a projection of something within us. Maybe you didn't just see a person. Maybe you saw a reflection of a deeper part of yourself, a parent you lacked, a love you dreamed of in childhood, or a part of yourself that you lost. And until you understand why he or she got stuck in your mind, you won't be able to move on, because that person became a doorway into yourself. Psychologist Elizabeth Loftus claims that memory is not a photo album, but a living, ever-changing narrative. That means you don't remember the person. You remember the state you were in beside them. You remember how it suddenly felt warm, peaceful. Or the opposite, how a chill ran through you and the world became brighter. That person activated something within you. It's not them chasing you in your thoughts. You're returning to that feeling yourself. Because deep down, you want to go back there. Psychoanalyst Jacques Lacan said, "We don't fall in love with the person, but with the image they awaken." Often we think this is fate, but maybe it was just an inner echo, a longing for something that was missing in the past. You met an image, not necessarily a person, and then that image disappeared, like a shadow that was never meant to stay. Neuroscientist Giacomo Rizzolatti and his team discovered mirror neurons in our brain. They are responsible for empathy and recognition. When you look at someone, your brain tries on their behavior, and if it finds something familiar, you feel warmth, trust, attraction. It's not magic, it's an ancient system for recognizing your own. Intuition built on bodily reactions. Sometimes we remember something that never happened, but it feels real. That's cryptomnesia, a phenomenon where the brain pulls up an old emotion and wraps it in a new face. Maybe you saw similar eyes in childhood, or heard a voice that reminds you of someone dear. And the brain gives the signal, one of ours. Viktor Frankl believed, life is not a pursuit of happiness, it's a search for meaning. And the person you can't forget, maybe that was the meaning, if only for a moment. They came to awaken something that was sleeping inside you. They ignited you, or shattered you so you could rebuild yourself differently. Every such encounter is meaningful, even if it never had an ending. Freud wrote that coincidences are unfulfilled desires breaking through to the surface. And modern neuropsychologist David Eagleman added, 95% of our decisions are made before we're aware of them. Maybe the person you met wasn't random. Maybe your brain, your soul, and your path chose them subconsciously, as a sign, as a lesson, as a chance to remember or to heal. Jean-Paul Sartre once wrote, "The other is the mirror in which I first see myself from the outside." Maybe it's not him you can't forget, but the version of yourself you felt beside him. Free, real, open. Or on the contrary, vulnerable, fragile, lost. Either way, you touched your true self. And now something within you is calling you back. Not to the person, to yourself. In psychotherapy, this phenomenon is known as an open gestalt, an unfinished emotion. Until you feel it, understand it, release it, the cycle remains open. You keep returning in your thoughts, again and again, not to the person, to the you that you felt when they were near. And that's not a mistake. That's the path to self-understanding. Sometimes people come into our lives not to stay, but to show us who we are, what we've been waiting for, what echoed within us. Modern psychologists say a brief but intense interaction can trigger more change than years of a relationship. One encounter can awaken an entire era within you. And if you feel like something was meant to happen, maybe it already did, just not in the way you expected. Accept that not everything needs a conclusion. Some meetings are bridges, some are bonfires, and some are mirrors. If you can't forget, don't fight it. Sit down, breathe, feel. What exactly do you remember? What emotion? What part of you comes alive in the presence of that image? Sometimes to let go, you don't need to force it out, but to accept, to give thanks, to live it through. And only then will you understand. You're not stuck in the past. You're growing. And that person was your mirror. For a brief time, but with deep meaning. You're not alone. We all carry within us the images of people who changed us. Some stayed, and some left, but left behind light. Don't rush yourself. That person was part of your path. But the entire path isn't about them. Remember, anything that can't be forgotten carries meaning, and anything lived with love becomes a part of your strength. If you saw someone and can't forget them, then there is a hidden meaning in that. The hidden meaning is that in this meeting, you didn't just see another person, you saw yourself. You touched something important that had been inside you all along, but remained silent. A feeling you once lost, a question you hadn't asked in a long time, a longing you hadn't admitted, a hope you had nearly forgotten. He didn't come to stay, he came to remind you, to shake you, to show you that you are alive, that you're capable of feeling, of seeing, of recognizing. And that's why you can't forget, not him, but what came alive within you when he was near.